Namaskar. Welcome to New to Life Talk. This is Questions of Life, and you are watching New to Germany. In this program, we are discussing the series of domestic violence with Dr. Surekha Tiwari. She is a psychological counselor from India, and she is a special guest also. Dr.
Thank you so
Surekha,
much.
a very warm welcome in New to Life Talk.
Thank you.
So, viewers, till now we have discussed a lot about domestic violence, that how you can recognize a person who is the victim, or maybe how you can get to know, maybe understand that who is going to be criminal, or maybe can hurt you, in your relationship. So there could be a lot in this series, but since we have touched all the points and Dr. Surekha has wisely clarified the concept of domestic violence, so now we are going to sum up this topic in this episode. So now, Dr. Surekha, please let us know more about this topic, domestic violence.
Hi, viewers. And today, since it's the concluding part, so we'll just touch on the basic topics. I hope I've covered everything in the detailed versions, but today we'll just sum it up. The first is the definition that domestic violence is not always about hitting. Emotional, mental, physical, social, any kind of pain. If a near relationship is given to you, then you are being violated. You are being done unto. And not raising your voice. First of all, sometimes in the name of adjustment, we keep on ignoring whatever is happening to us, whatever pain we go through. We keep on taking the pain, wishing it away, praying to God, thinking that tomorrow it will be over. But I would like to reiterate in the first segment, as I said, that the earlier you nip it, the earlier you diagnose it, and the earlier you stop it, it has the best chances of not repeating. So that's the first very, very important underline, bold, italics point, that the first day when you feel that things are not fair, the first day when you feel that the things are not exactly what you deserved, or the occasion deserved, then you must make a note of it. You must, at an opportune time, have a dialogue about it. You must not. These were all old world values where people said, do not discuss your things with outside people. But if you do not let a few people know what is happening, which is not correct, you are actually inviting more trouble, because the perpetrator knows that because this news will not travel outside, so the guts go up. So that's it. First, as I said, try to recognize and try to object any violation right at the beginning. Second, do not shy away from sharing it. Yes, you don't want to broadcast to the world, but you will have somebody in your close circuit, somebody in your family who you know is intelligent enough. And again, I take the liberty of telling you that if you've got nobody, then reach out to New2 app. Here is a team of very, very nice people. I have been now with them for almost a year today, and I know a few people even before that from this team. I would take this opportunity to compliment the New2 team, that
Yes, sir.
they can be your extended family. Please use them. Do
Yes.
not hesitate in using them. I hope, Shraddha, I'm not crossing the line here.
No, absolutely not. Although, like, we are giving this email ID where viewers can always drop a mail and we can send it to you. Yes, it is possible. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's point number 2. Point number 3, there is a saying which says, however thin you slice, there are always two sides. So one thing which I've realized over so many years of counseling and so many years of being a profession of healing, that somebody who is violent, somebody who is not doing the right things, also has a thought process, also has a reason, which may be logical, may not be logical, but he still has a reason of explanation that I am okay if I'm doing this, because you're answerable to your own self. So as and when, and if any one of you, God forbid, is going through domestic violence, you must look at your partner very carefully. Try to keep the pain away for some time. Look at your partner carefully. You will find something in their story
Hmm.
which is making them the way they are today.
Hmm.
And as you cook the best food for your spouse, as you look at the house as your own building, as you look at the spouse as your own self or your better half, it is also your responsibility to be a facilitator in making them see that, listen, you are a much better person. But
Mhm.
because of these stories behind in your childhood, in your older times, you are not reacting in a proper way. But for that, first, you will have to keep your pain aside and learn to see who are the people who perpetrate violence.
Mhm.
You know, 10 on 10, I would not even say 9 on 10. 10
Okay.
on 10, these are people who, why would you raise your voice? You raise your voice because you think you're not heard otherwise.
Mhm.
Why do you need to scream? Because you think that when I speak, nobody pays attention.
Mhm.
Similarly, why do you need to hit? Because you think that the other person in front of you can harm you more.
Hmm.
So there is something in the psyche which says inferiority complex. There is something in the psyche which has a need to control, because if things are not under my control, then I am weak. So if the victim, I want to empower the victim. If the victim can start seeing some background to the violence, it
Mhm.
becomes very, very easy to deal.
Right.
Now, similarly, the person who will become the victim,
Hmm.
there also there is a common pool trait. There will be people who will be meek. There will be people who are docile. See, you never go and hit an elephant,
Yeah.
but you stamp an ant very easily.
Hmm.
Right? If a tiger is coming, you run for life.
Hmm.
If a dog is coming, you shoo him away.
Yeah.
So there is something in the victim which allows the perpetrator to believe I can get away with it.
Yeah.
So that part of the person or the victim also needs to be examined by the victim. You can feel very sorry for yourself. You can feel great pity for yourself. You're poor me, I'm going through this, and look, life has brought me to this and everything. But if new to app, me, Shraddha, Anjanadi, and the team is going to make a difference, that difference is going to be in changing your thought process. Why me? Why have I come to this stage? How and when did I give out signals that you could do this to me and it's fine?
Hmm.
Once you will start questioning, and believe me, I do not deal with a mass discussion alone.
Mhm.
I'm individually addressing every one of you who's listening to this program today.
Mhm.
That even one of you, when you will start thinking, why me? How could this person even, what signals did I put out that this person could think that he could get away with it? Why wasn't he or she afraid that I'll hit back?
Hmm.
Why wasn't he or she afraid that I'm going to call the police? Why wasn't he or she thinking that, what will the world think of me if I do this? That means I am giving out something which says that, hey, listen, it's okay. This is not okay.
So, doctor, I think that most of the people really afraid of to breaking the relationship, especially the Indian families. They are based on to understanding the relationship, maybe the tolerate a little bit. So and to adjust. The word we say that you should adjust. So
Shraddha,
yeah.
the Indian statistics are changing. Divorce rates are increasing in India and in Indians also.
Hmm.
But it is a proven fact that still, by miles, Indian marriages continue for longer period of time than in other countries, because the Indian psyche,
Hmm.
the Indian value system, the Indian family system, where a joint family was always the norm, where supporting your family was always. And I really appreciate this, and a lot of communities do this, where they support the under part of their lives and whatever. So I don't think we are talking about domestic violence being the end of the relationship. Ending the relationship is the easiest. This whole talk show is absolutely useless if we are only taking back the fact that if I open my mouth or if I raise my voice, then it's the end of the relationship. Please do it and go ahead. But if you don't want to break the relationship and yet don't want to be a victim, the understanding is of this phenomenon.
So what is the best way to solve this problem?
Again, first of all, recognition that this is violence. This is not only about need of adjustment.
Okay.
This is violence. Second, sharing this with somebody so that somebody in the world is aware that if there is an SOS call in the night, then what is to be done. So you are creating a safety net, right? Third, try to understand the story of the perpetrator so that at a later date, he or she can be healed. I want the relationship to continue. That is why I am thinking of healing him or her. If I am to giving it up, then how does it matter? You may be having junkyard in your head. Who cares? But because I care for the relationship, so I have to care for why you are doing what you are doing. And if I'm able to understand why you're doing, and at a later date and a peaceful moment, I'm able to explain to you that, you're a good person, something about the past, some experience in the past has given you the permission to be violent. And that's not correct. You will heal the relationship, you will heal the person. In my counseling, I have seen this, Shraddha, in almost 9 on 10 cases, after this one big fight, this one big precipitated fight, where it's like no holds barred, actually the relationship settles back into a beautiful partnership.
Really, it's wonderful.
Yes. Because you have to give the volcano a vent. You have to give those emotions which have been troubling you a vent. You should be able to not hold anything. You should be able to put it out on the table that I am adjusting doesn't mean I am weak. I am quiet doesn't mean I am stupid. And I'm not acting doesn't mean I am powerless. It takes more amount of fortitude to stay quiet. It takes much more strength to put up with bad behavior. It's very easy to scream back. So we are not talking about breaking a relationship. So breaking a relationship is the easiest. It's like, okay, fine. You and I don't get along, let's go. Let's change, somebody else become. But you have to remember, every person on this earth has a story. Every person on this earth has a past. And the past shapes your today, present. What you are today is from that past. It's a baggage all of us carry. So if you have to continue forward with the relationship, try and read the baggage. Try and read the baggage. And try that, show the baggage to the person who's doing it. That this is not how we can solve it. I think together we can do it much better. Let's talk. Communication is, after every one of my talks, I find myself saying the same thing. Communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate with yourself. Communicate with your friend. Communicate with the person whom you have a complaint with. Communicate with somebody who's a counselor, who's a well-wisher, who's somebody who can explain to you that maybe somewhere you are also responsible for what is happening to you. You can't go running for everything happening in my life is to be blamed on everybody else. It's your life. You would have made some contribution to the whole process. Understanding your contribution makes it very, very, it's a starting point. Right? I had one case where this guy was suddenly promoted to a very nice position. He was a brilliant guy. He was doing very well. And he was suddenly promoted to the very nice position. So he wanted his wife to have, like, guests over at home,
Mm-hmm.
because I need to invite my team at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to, I need to have a team building exercise, and you cook so well. So why don't you bring in something?
Mm-hmm.
The wife says, I don't believe in parties. She says, I don't like people coming home. I don't like alcohol being served at home. I don't like this. So now, this led to so much friction. Whereas my point to the woman was that, as you have childbirth and you give birth to a child, so you transform from being a woman to a mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the same thing of expanding your scope.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn now to be a host. What is the problem in learning to be a host? You don't like partying? Agreed. You don't like drinking? Don't. But if it is a partnership with your husband, and you must partner with him so that his ambitions or his status is not hurt because of your value system. Your value system cannot get harmed. Change and adaptation, Shraddha, are such interchangeable words.
Right.
You went to Germany, right? You used to live in Punjab.
Yeah.
Right? After you went to Germany, you would have learnt a few dishes from
Right.
Germany. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You would have learnt some names of wines.
I don't
But
remember.
have you forgotten? Have you forgotten lassi?
Never ever. Yeah.
So now you know a roux afza, you know a lassi, you knew a shikanji, and you also know 2 mocktails. So now you don't know 3, you know 5 drinks. I'm just giving you an example of what reasons build up to give us a place of friction, because friction is the first level of violence.
Yeah,
If
and I
that
think you're
itself,
saying that to understand your spouse or maybe your family member or any of them you are living with,
right,
and then
right.
try to cooperate and cope up with them, probably the relationship would be more beautiful than it's now. Yeah,
Yes.
so it's really very good examples you are quoting in between the topic. It's really nice. Yeah, please carry.
These are from real life. There is this lady who worked in the hotel industry, and suddenly her job profile changed. She was initially she just was responsible for the kitchen. Then they gave her a wider view of, because of corporate interaction, if I'm not wrong. So all the corporate parties would take place only in the night. And because the hotel was popular, it was getting popularity, and her her event management skills were like awesome, because she had creativity, she has a sense of purpose and all that stuff. So the hotel started giving her more work. More work meant more time.
Mm.
And sometime when the event was in the night, that she had to come late. Now, where do we place this? Where do we place this? The domestic life will be affected a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
So obviously she was rejoicing because she was getting laurels, she was getting a lot of appreciation, and the husband was uncomfortable, which is again normal, because he was used to a wife who was waiting on him at 9 o'clock in the night every day after doing her job.
Yeah.
Right?
Life
Now,
pattern changes. Yeah.
so you and I are women right now. We will sit across the table, and the man should have understood.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Now, if I tell you that this man's mother was a head principal,
Okay.
and she used to be a very, very strict head principal and a very hands-on head principal. So she was never available to the children because she used to take a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
He had seen a woman of the house not being present,
Yeah.
and the children not doing well, the sister not learning things or whatever. So he wanted his wife to be home, and that was his security blanket. And this lady had a job in the night suddenly, So his reaction of that, I don't like you doing this, please be home, feels wrong. But if we take back his baggage has a skeleton there.
Yes.
How nice that we actually asked the woman to make him a party to her climbing up the ladder.
Hmm.
That I want to do this. They have given me this responsibility. It's a role.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
Yes.
He said, he
Yeah.
said, yes. How do you want my help? She said, I will go a little late.
Hmm.
I will be able to connect my duties. But can we have a cook who coming in the night so that your hot meals are served well?
Okay. Smart way.
I will ensure that the kitchen runs the way it is running,
Hmm.
right? And it is only on some days that I need to go. On all the other days, we'll be there. And for all these events, if the event is nice and it helps you in your corporate behavior or any of these trainings, why don't you come and join? I can always take you as my own staff member.
Such a smart way of communication. Really nice.
Exactly. Communication, ting ting.
Mm. Yeah.
So it is partnership. Don't take each other for granted. Let the person know what is right and wrong in the relationship. Let the person be a party to your progress.
Mm.
Let a person be privy to your failures. It's a beautiful relationship. To get married, to have children, don't beat your children. That is also domestic violence. Beating them
Yeah.
does not get anything.
We haven't
Make them.
discussed this. We were always
Yeah,
talking about the
actually, yeah.
adult things and marriage
Oh,
relationship or
good.
maybe the family, but we
We'll
haven't discussed the domestic violence with the childrens.
But
This
that's a
is
very
also
good topic.
interesting.
Why don't we, okay, why don't you do a poll on your new to app and ask people how many people would like us to have a talk on this, and then we prepare a series on this also.
Yeah, of course, we can discuss with the social media team. If we can do
Yeah.
that, would be wonderful. Yeah.
Float a question today and tell me how many viewers are really interested.
Let us talk in the team, and then we will
Yeah,
definitely get back to you and to the viewers as
thank
well.
you.
So, Dr. Surekha Tiwari, I think it was a wonderful session and wonderful sum up of this vast topic of domestic violence today. Thank you so very much for coming in our show. And for
Thank
viewers,
you to all the viewers for giving us this patient listening.
and this is our message to you, viewers, that if you are dealing with such kind of issues in your life, kindly write down to us. We have an email ID. It's anjana.singh@new2app.com. You can write down a mail. We will keep your identity very secret, and we will try to get the solutions from our expert doctor, Dr. Surekha Tiwari. She's a psychological counselor, as I have already told you in the beginning. So keep watching New to Germany YouTube channel, and if you are a Hindi speaker, so there is a Hindi topic of the same domestic violence series. You can watch it, and we will meet next time with some new topic here in New to Germany YouTube channel. Till then, namaskar, dhanyawad, thanks.
Thank you.